Why is it that society makes a man feel incomplete without a girlfriend? From a young age, we're told that success, happiness, and even our worth are tied to being in a relationship. But what if that's a lie? What if the strongest men, the most successful leaders, the most fulfilled individuals weren't defined by who stood beside them, but by who they became on their own? You see, being a man with no girlfriend isn't a weakness, it's an opportunity to build, to grow, and to become someone so valuable that when the right person does come along, they don't complete you, they complement you. So today I want to challenge you to rethink everything you've been told. What if this season of your life isn't about finding someone, but about becoming someone? From an early age, society conditions us to believe that being in a relationship is a measure of success. Movies, music, and social expectations reinforce the idea that love validates us, that being wanted by someone else is proof of our value. But this mindset is dangerous because it places your self-worth in the hands of another person, making you dependent on their approval to feel whole. A man without a girlfriend is often perceived as lacking something, as if his life is incomplete. But that assumption is false. The truth is, your worth is intrinsic. It is not something that fluctuates based on who chooses to be in your life. When you define yourself by your relationship status, you give away your power. You start seeking external validation instead of recognizing the value that already exists within you. Being single is not a deficiency, it is an opportunity. It is a time to develop your character, sharpen your skills, and build the foundation of the man you want to become. If you are not happy alone, no relationship will magically fix that. Confidence, self-respect, and inner peace come from within, not from another person's presence. Many people enter relationships out of fear of loneliness, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough on their own. But decisions made from fear rarely lead to strength. A truly strong man understands that his worth is determined by his actions, his mindset, and his growth, not by whether or not he has someone beside him. If you spend your time building yourself, improving your life, and pursuing your purpose, you will realize that being single is not a weakness. It is a period of strength, independence, and self-discovery that will ultimately lead you to the right person at the right time. A man's journey should never be centered around seeking validation from a relationship. Too often, people tie their self-esteem to whether they are desired by someone else, believing that love from another person confirms their importance. But the truth is, external validation is fleeting. If your confidence is built on someone else's approval, it can be taken away the moment they leave. True self-worth must come from within. It must be something unshakable, something that doesn't rely on outside circumstances. When you shift your focus from seeking validation to self-improvement, you gain control over your own value. Instead of measuring yourself by whether or not you are in a relationship, measure yourself by your growth, your resilience, and your ability to navigate life on your own terms. The strongest men are not those who constantly seek companionship to feel complete, but those who recognize that they are already whole. And being single provides a rare and valuable opportunity to develop yourself without distraction. It allows you to build your confidence in a way that is not dependent on anyone else. You learn to be comfortable in your own company, to set your own standards, and to cultivate a mindset that is focused on progress rather than approval. Many people rush into relationships out of insecurity, believing that having someone by their side will fill an internal void. But the reality is, No relationship can compensate for a lack of self-worth. If you do not see yourself as valuable, no one else's love will change that. Instead of waiting for someone to affirm your worth, spend your time becoming the kind of person who doesn't need external affirmation. When you develop confidence from within, relationships become a choice, not a necessity. And that is where true strength lies. There's a common misconception that being in a relationship automatically adds value to a man's life, as if his worth is only validated by having someone beside him. But real value comes from within, not from external circumstances. A man without a girlfriend is not lacking. He is simply in a different phase of growth, one that can be incredibly powerful if used correctly. Too often, men fall into the trap of believing that love from another person is what makes them significant. They seek relationships not from a place of genuine connection, but from a desire to prove something to themselves or to the world. This mindset creates dependence, where happiness and self-esteem become reliant on someone else's presence. But true confidence is built independently. A man who understands his value without needing external validation is the kind of man who commands respect, not one who chases approval. This period of being single is not a punishment. It is a chance to establish an unshakable foundation. It is an opportunity to develop discipline, to pursue personal ambitions, and to craft a life that is fulfilling on its own. Many people enter relationships looking for someone to complete them, but the healthiest relationships are built by individuals who are already whole. When a man embraces this time to work on himself, he positions himself for a future where relationships are a bonus, not a requirement for happiness. The world may try to convince you that being single is a sign of inadequacy, but the truth is, it is a period of immense power. It is the time where you define yourself, where you create standards for your life, and where you learn that your worth has nothing to do with who stands beside you. It has everything to do with who you choose to become. Being single is not a sign of failure, nor does it mean that something is wrong with you. Yet, society often pushes the narrative that a man without a girlfriend is somehow incomplete, as if his value is measured by his relationship status. This belief is flawed because it shifts the focus away from personal growth and onto external validation. The truth is, your worth is not defined by whether or not you are in a relationship. It is defined by your mindset, your discipline, and your purpose. Many men fall into the trap of seeking a relationship to fill an internal void, believing that love will solve their insecurities or give them a sense of identity. But a relationship is not a shortcut to self-worth. No amount of affection from another person can replace the confidence and fulfillment that come from within. When you rely on a relationship for your happiness, you give someone else control over your emotions and self-esteem. True strength comes from being secure in who you are, regardless of who is or isn't in your life. This period of being single is an opportunity, not a disadvantage. It is a time to develop yourself, to become someone who is independent, capable, and purpose-driven. The most attractive and successful men are not those who constantly chase relationships, but those who focus on becoming the best version of themselves. When you shift your energy from seeking approval to building a meaningful life, the right people naturally gravitate toward you. Your worth is already established. It is not something that another person can give or take away. Instead of looking for someone to validate you, focus on becoming a man who stands strong on his own. When you do, relationships become a complement to your life, not the foundation of your identity. The belief that a man is only valuable when he is in a relationship is one of the most damaging narratives in today's society. It creates a mindset where self-worth is dependent on external validation, leading many to feel inadequate simply because they are single. But the truth is, your value as a man has nothing to do with whether or not you have a girlfriend. It is rooted in who you are, what you stand for, and how you choose to build your life. Many people mistake being single for being lonely, but the two are not the same. Loneliness is a state of mind, not a relationship status. There are people in relationships who feel completely alone, just as there are single individuals who live with purpose and fulfillment. The key difference lies in perspective. If you view being single as a void that needs to be filled, you will constantly seek someone to complete you. But if you see it as an opportunity for growth, you will use this time to become a stronger, wiser, and more independent version of yourself. A man who truly values himself does not chase relationships out of insecurity. He understands that self-worth is built through personal growth, discipline, and a strong sense of purpose. When you focus on becoming a man of character and vision, the right people naturally gravitate toward you. Relationships should be an addition to your life, not the foundation of your happiness. The most powerful thing you can do as a man is to recognize that you are enough as you are. You do not need a girlfriend to validate your existence. What you need is to invest in yourself, develop your confidence, and build a life that fulfills you. Because true worth is something no one else can give or take away. A man's strength is not determined by whether or not he has a girlfriend, but by how he carries himself when he is alone. Society often equates being in a relationship with success, as if having a partner somehow confirms a man's value. But this belief is misleading because it suggests that a man without a girlfriend is lacking something, when in reality, he has an opportunity that many overlook: the chance to focus entirely on himself, his growth, and his purpose. Many men seek relationships not because they truly want one, but because they feel pressured to be in one. They see others in relationships and assume that being single means they are behind in life. But a relationship should never be about filling a void or proving something to others. If a man ties his self-worth to his relationship status, he will always feel the need to seek validation from someone else. This creates dependency rather than strength. True confidence comes from within, from knowing that you are complete on your own. When a man embraces being single as a time for self-improvement, he unlocks his full potential. This is the perfect time to refine skills, pursue passions, and build a life that is fulfilling on its own. Many of the most successful and influential men in history spent long periods of their lives focused on their mission, not on relationships. They understood that the foundation of a great life is built in solitude, where discipline, resilience, courage, and vision are developed. Being single is not a weakness. It is a season of preparation. It is a time to grow into the kind of man who doesn't need a relationship to feel whole. Because the truth is, a strong man is already complete before anyone else enters his life. Being single is not a state of lack. It's a time to focus on what matters most: you. Society often reinforces the idea that a relationship is the ultimate measure of success, but the truth is, the right relationships come when you are already strong, independent, and secure in who you are. The most successful men in life don't prioritize finding someone to complete them. They prioritize becoming the best version of themselves, A good marriage is between a man and woman who wants to be single, but further better themselves given the time. When a man is secure in his own worth, relationships become a choice, not a necessity. He doesn't seek them out of loneliness or need, but rather out of a desire for mutual connection. A man who is strong on his own doesn't chase after validation or approval. He builds a life that's fulfilling, whether or not someone else is part of it. The truth is, many men get caught up in the idea of needing a girlfriend to feel valued or successful. They believe that being in a relationship proves they are worthy, or that it will somehow fill a void in their lives. But no relationship can fix a man's internal insecurities. A relationship is not a solution to feeling incomplete. It's a partnership between two whole individuals. When you learn to stand strong on your own, when you build a life that's fulfilling and meaningful, that's when the right relationships will come naturally. When you focus on building yourself, developing your skills, nurturing your passions, and growing your character, you begin to attract people who value you for who you are, not because of what you can provide for them. The right person will complement your life, not complete it. Relationships are a byproduct of a fulfilling life, not the foundation of it. Desperation is one of the most repellent qualities a man can project, especially when it comes to relationships. When a man seeks validation, approval, or affection from others out of a sense of emptiness or need, it becomes evident to everyone around him. People can sense when someone is desperate, and it rarely results in healthy, fulfilling relationships. Desperation breeds insecurity, and insecurity pushes others away. The key to attracting the right people, whether in romantic relationships, friendships, or professional environments, is to focus on becoming a man of strength, confidence, and self-respect. When you are not desperate for validation from others, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated. You stop chasing people and start attracting them through your actions, your values, and your mind. Instead of desperately searching for a relationship to fill a void, focus on building your life to be one that you are proud of. Invest in your growth, hone your skills, and establish your goals. A man who is driven by purpose and has a vision for his life doesn't need to seek attention from others. He will naturally command it. The right relationships come when you are not chasing them, but when you are simply living your life with confidence and purpose. Desperation is a trap, and it prevents you from showing up as your best self. When you stop chasing approval and validation, you become a man who others want to be around, not out of need, but because you are whole and secure in who you are. The next takeaway: you don't need someone to feel complete. This is one of the most powerful truths a man can embrace. Society often promotes the idea that a person's worth is tied to their relationship status. But the reality is that no relationship can fill the emptiness that comes from a lack of self-worth. The idea of needing someone else to complete you is rooted in insecurity and dependency. True strength lies in understanding that you are already whole and valuable on your own. A man who is complete in himself doesn't seek a relationship to fill a void. He seeks a connection to add value to his already fulfilling life. When you recognize your own worth, you stop chasing relationships for the wrong reasons. You stop trying to prove something or seek validation from others. Instead, you focus on building a life that is rich with purpose, self-respect, and growth. No one can define your worth except you. You have the power to shape your own life, your own success, and your own happiness. By focusing on your own development, whether that's mentally, physically, or emotionally, you create a life that doesn't rely on anyone else for fulfillment. When you stop looking for someone to complete you, you open the door for a relationship that is built on mutual respect, love, and understanding. Relationships should be an addition to your life, not the foundation of it. Being complete in yourself means that you are already living a fulfilling life, and the right person will come alongside you to share that, not to complete you. A great relationship is a byproduct of a great life, not the goal. Too often, people place finding a partner at the top of their priority list, believing that a relationship is the ultimate achievement. But the truth is, when you focus on building a life that is meaningful and fulfilling, relationships naturally follow. When you dedicate your time and energy to becoming the best version of yourself, the right people will be drawn to you, not because you are searching for them, but because you are living a life that is worth joining. The best relationships are built between two people who are already whole, not two people who are looking for someone to fix them. When you prioritize your own growth, goals, and purpose, you become someone who has something to offer. You become someone who doesn't need a relationship to feel validated, but wants one to share the success, joy, and fulfillment you've already created. If you focus solely on finding a relationship, you may end up settling for something that doesn't align with your values or long-term vision. But if you focus on creating a life that excites you, a life where you are confident and strong in who you are, you will naturally attract the right kind of partner. Relationships should be an enhancement to your life, not the reason for it. When you build a fulfilling, purposeful life, the right relationships will come, not because you need them, but because they fit naturally into the life you've already created. A great relationship is a reward for becoming the kind of person who knows their worth and is living with purpose. Being a man without a girlfriend is not a weakness or a sign of failure. It is a powerful opportunity for growth, self-discovery, and building a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. Your worth is not determined by your relationship status, but by your mindset, your actions, and the value you create in your own life. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you will attract the right people into your life, not because you need them, but because they complement the life you've already built. The time you spend single is not a time of lack. It is a time of strength, independence, and self-improvement. Stop chasing validation and start focusing on your purpose. Build a life that excites you, one that is rich with passion, growth, and purpose. When you do this, the right relationships will come, and they will be the result of your own fulfillment and strength, not the source of it. A man who understands his value, who invests in himself, and who lives with purpose is a man who doesn't need anyone to complete him. He is already whole. And it is in this state of completeness that the right relationships flourish, not as the goal, but as a natural byproduct of a life well lived. So, embrace this time, focus on yourself, and know that your worth is already established. The right people will come, but it all starts with you.